Good morning, friends. Hello. Hello, hello. Good morning, friends. How are you this morning? Hope you are well. I hope you had a great holiday weekend. I hope there's goodness in it. But good morning, good morning. Hi, Jane. Hello, John. Hope you're well. Kristen, good morning. Karen, good morning to you. Hope you're grand. Things are well. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hope everybody had a great holiday. I know. I heard there was an 11:11 meetup in Maine on Saturday. That's terrific. I'm so glad. That's fun. I love that our community continues to make foster and connection all everywhere that it goes. Um, we're gonna have to. I think, John, we might have to start to look to you and come up with a logo or something. So I think we might be at that stage. So uh, we might have to lean into this thing. So good morning, everybody. A little travel mug coffee going this morning. It's very good. Good morning, everyone. So I hope you're doing well. So I want to begin this morning by letting you know that today is my son Derek's birthday, and so even if he's not on the live stream, but I think he might be, even though we can't quite see him. But even if he's not, I know he'll catch this later, and I want to have the chance to sing happy birthday to him in front of all of you good people. So it is a good birthday for him out there on the beautiful left coast. So, all right, Derek, here you go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Derek. Happy birthday to you. All right, friends. As you know, if it is your birthday and a part of the 1111 community, and I find out, I am going to punk you out and I'm going to sing happy birthday to you. It is what we do here. So it is part of our gaining and our joy together. And so I am glad that we got to share this time. This morning, I want to welcome you to another 1111. I hope you had a great holiday weekend. I hope all good things came to you this weekend, and it was a joy. There was a little 1111 meetup, I'm told, so all kinds of goodness there. And so, but I want to read us this morning one of Jesus' parables and one of the Jesus stories. And this is one of the few stories about Jesus that is recorded in all four Gospels. Now, when you find something recorded in all four Gospels, it's a huge red flag. It's a huge neon sign saying this is central. This is important. This matters. Because you have to remember, like, the Gospels weren't all written at the same time. You have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. John is written last, and actually a fair bit later than the other three what we call the synoptic Gospels. And so John actually, one of the ways I've heard scholars talk about this is that John kind of fills in the gaps. Like, we get different things in John from the synoptic Gospels, because it's, as John is writing, he's like, oh, Matthew, Mark, and Luke didn't cover this. Oh, Matthew, Mark, and Luke didn't cover that. So when we read John, we get so much of the father and son language. We get so much the mystical and deep side. So All that is to say, however, even though John was written kind of, I think, in that sort of vein, in that lens, even though there was this kind of second chance to make sure everything, even the gospel writer of John could have easily said, oh, everybody, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John all include this story, so I don't need to include this story. But rather, he says, no, it's so important. Yes, they included it, but I need to include it too. So every one of the Gospels has this story included in it, I want to spend a little time with it this morning because I think it's that important. So it is Jesus feeds the 5,000. This is the version from Mark, Mark 6:30 through 44. The apostles gathered around Jesus and reported to him all that they had done and taught. And then, because so many people were coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat, he said to them, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." So they went away by themselves in a boat to a solitary place. But many who saw them leaving recognized them and ran on foot from all the towns and got there ahead of them. And when Jesus landed and saw a great crowd, he had compassion on them, because they were like sheep without a shepherd. And so he began teaching them many things. By this time it was late in the day, and so the disciples came to him and said, "This is a remote place, and it's already very late. Send the people away so that they can go to the surrounding countryside and the villages and buy something to eat." But he answered, he said, "You give them something to eat." And they said to him, That would take more than half a year's wages. Are we to go spend that much on bread and give it to them to eat? How many loaves do you ask? How many loaves do you have? Jesus asked. It's go and see. And so they found out. They said, "We have 5 loaves and 2 fish." And then Jesus directed them to have all the people sit down in groups on the green grass. So they sat down in groups, hundreds and fifties, taking 5 loaves and 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks. He broke the loaves. He gave them to his disciples to distribute to the people, and he divided the 2 fish among them all. They all ate and were satisfied, and the disciples picked up 12 baskets of broken pieces of fish, bread and fish. The number of men who had eaten was 5,000. This miracle, this unseemingly, this impossible Sunday school story of a miracle that is included in all 4 Gospels, has this power to it, but it also has this form to it. So the first thing Jesus says is, you give them something to eat. I would suggest that this little model of take the bread, bless it, break it, and give it, this is that Jesus shows, which is the same model, by the way, that we find where? In the communion meal. This is what Jesus does in the communion meal. This is proto Holy Thursday. This is the prelude to Holy Thursday. This is the prelude to the single most holy thing we do in Christendom, which is break bread and share it amongst ourselves. We can say that, and so what are we to make of this miracle? I think that's the question. How does this work? There's scholars who will do all kinds of weird things with it. They say, part of it was the generosity of this meal ended up creating this atmosphere where, everybody who had a loaf of bread kind of had it tucked away, and they all just kind of took it out and put it in the basket. That's kind of how often some scholars understand this. Some scholars understand it with this idea that, that it really is like a magic trick. Like, there's a rabbit out of a hat. But I think this template, this model, and particularly its inclusion over so much time, actually offers us something way deeper. This realization that we hunger. You see, these are people in a desperate place in desperate times with kind of nothing left to lose. Like the people that are there are being so savaged and brutalized by the Romans. Some of the tax rates at that time were upwards of 90%. Like, you bring home your paycheck, and the Romans, the government takes 90% of it. That people didn't have enough to begin with in this era. That they're already being ravaged, and now they're in the countryside. Now they are away, and there's this process in this story of stripping down, and the hunger that results from that. This is not just a story about tight bellies. This is not just a story about not having enough calories in their diet. This is a story about the deepest longings of humanity, about what we truly long for. You ever had that experience where you stand in front of the fridge and you just stare there and you want something, but you don't know what it is? Like, you don't go to the fridge and like, oh, I want a cherry yogurt, and you go, okay, there's my cherry yogurt. More often, and not all the time certainly, but more often we open the fridge and the light comes on and we look around like, what do I want? I know I want something, but maybe I'll have a cherry yogurt. That'd be good. Like that, we have this moment where we discover our hunger in us, but we discover that there is nothing to meet it. Or we don't know what it is that will meet it. We're questioning. We're wondering. We find ourselves in a desolate place without what we think we need. And there's many of us that will spend lifetimes trying to put something in that hole. That we'll try and put our children in that hole. We'll try to put our spouse in that hole. We'll try to put a fast car in that hole. We'll try and put shiny things in that hole. We'll try and put a home in that hole. We'll try and put any manner of stuff in that hole that this inherent longing that is within us to be fed, that is really about the presence of the divine with us, that can satisfy all the longings. All were satisfied of the 5,000 that were there. They were satisfied because, friends, what we hunger for is another face that will understand us and truly love us and truly accept us. What we hunger for is a depth of meaning in our lives that is beyond the very world in which we're in. C.S. Lewis, I think, says it the best. He says, if I find in myself desires which nothing in this world can satisfy, the only logical explanation is that I was made for another world. What Jesus is pointing to in this proto Holy Thursday, in this proto-communion meal, and what Jesus is pointing to in the communion meal, is our need to take that which God has given us, to bless it and make it holy and break it and share it with the world. Like this process that Jesus lays out here, and then Jesus also lays out in the communion meal, is also the very process by which we need to take our lives. We need to not take and then just take and keep it and hold on, but to take and bless, to add our own special sauce, to add our own scent, to add our own goodness, and then break it open so that it can be eaten, so that it can be accessed, so that we can be offered to others, and then give it away. Give it in service to the world. Give it in service to the world in which, and it's this pattern that this miracle speaks of, this pattern that we're called to live our lives in. This pattern is about meeting the true hunger that's in each one of us. The hunger for connection, the hunger for peace, the hunger for innocence, just making all the dirty stuff and the taint of the world to be washed clean. Our hunger for community and our true hunger for the face of God. To be restored to the image in which we were meant to and created for. Friends, my invitation to you today is that you take that which God has given you today. Maybe it's ugly. Maybe it is 2 fish that have sat too long in the sun. Maybe it is something that is that just seems entirely insufficient to the task that is ahead of you. But take it. Maybe it is filled with grief. Maybe it's the loss of somebody you care about. Maybe it's something that's just nothing but seemingly, fangs and claws. But whatever this day has given you, take it, receive it, accept it, bless it. Add your own grace to it. And not just your grace, but the grace that comes through you from the one who made you. Hold it up and find that in it, that which is holy and that which is good and that which is right, even though it might be filled with a porcupine of quills of experience. Take it, bless it, open it up, so that others may know it in your experience and in your life, and offer it to the world. Offer the goodness that you've been given. Offer the grace in which you've received. Offer the 2 smelly fish or the 2 crusty breads. That which is entirely insufficient to the task, but offer it. And the discovery is, it will actually satisfy the needs of the world for today. That it actually will be enough. That it actually will be able to draw upon the longing that nothing in the world can satisfy, because of the fact that you were made for another world. Friends, let God's love be present in whatever stinky fish and crusty bread are provided to you today. Turn it, take it, and find the face of the one who made you in the work and the love and the joy just for today. All right, friends, that's my hope for you today. Peace and grace to you all. I'm going to be traveling some this week, so we'll be on remote wherever we end up, but we will certainly join together tomorrow with another 11:11. Peace and grace to you, my friends.